Hello dear soulmates, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther, and if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. If you're a subscriber, thank you for watching. So in this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make a joggers pant, okay, which has an elastic waistband. So if you're interested in learning how to make this, quickly join us while we get started. Okay, so on my pattern paper, I went ahead to mark 3 inches vertically at the side. I marked it from the top to the hem of the paper and I connected it with a straight line. Okay, I'm using my marker just to make it very visible for us to see. So after marking 3 inches at the side and connecting them together, I'm going to come to the upper part, that is the top, and I'm going to mark 3 inches as well. Okay, so this is just for us to be able to have enough space for our allowance and whatever allowance you're going to be taking on both sides. So I've gone ahead to mark that straight line at the top as well. So we're going to be taking our measurement from the center and every other part that is extending to the other side that we kept out, we're going to be marking it as well. So now I'm going to take my hip measurement divided by 4. So the hip measurement I'm working with is 40 inches and I divided it by 4. I had 10, then I added 2 inches, which is 12 inches. Now the reason why I'm adding 2 inches is because my clients want this pant to be very baggy. She wants it really full, really baggy, and that's why I'm doing this. So you can add 1 inch if you don't want it to be too big. That is just to give it space there. So I'm marking 12 inches from the top to the to where my crouch line is going to be, and I also marked it vertically, horizontally and vertically, to give me a box. So the box is 12 inches equal on both sides. Then I came down to connect them together. Then I came from the upper part and marked my waist to hip measurement of about 9 inches there, and I'm labeling it. You can see I've labeled hip, crouch and waist. Okay, so you should just do the same. If you're not making it to be too big, you can use 1 inch for the extension of the crouch. So instead of using 12 inches, it will be 11 depending on your hip measurement. Okay, so now I'm going to just move my paper to this side so that I can show you the crouch extension which we are going to be working with on this side. So for us to get our crouch extension, you're going to divide your hip measurement by 20. So the hip measurement of this client is 40 inches. Dividing it by 20 gives me 2 inches, and I'm just going to start from that point and mark 2 inches. Then on the hip line, I marked half of an inch out, and I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect them. From that 2 inches I marked, crossing through the half of an inch and extending to the line, that is the center front. So I'm so sorry that my camera was not able to capture it when I was covering it, but this is what it looks like. If you do the same thing, you will get it. Okay, so we're supposed to get our waist measurement here, but because I'm working with a baggy trouser and I'm going to be using elastic there, we do not need to impute our waist measurement. We're not using the zipper and the band. Okay, so I'm going to leave it to be the same size of the hip. So now I took the crouch extension line and divided it by 2. From this part here, I connected it to where I had that 2 inches that we marked earlier. So I divided it by 2 and I took the measurement of one side and connected it to the hem. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If you do not understand anything, please leave it in the comment section. You can take the video back again for you to get it right. I divided what I have there into 2 equal parts, from the center line, from the side line to the part where I have my crouch extension where I came out by 2, divided it by 2 and took the center line, connected it to the hand. Then after connecting it to the hand, I'm now going to take my thigh measurement and divide it by 2. Okay, so I came down by 3 inches from this crouch. I came down by 3 inches, as you can see. Then I marked it with my pencil as a guide. Then I'm going to take my thigh measurement, my round thigh measurement, dividing it by 2. I have about 13 inches actually. I added 1 inch to make it 14 inches just to give it ease. Okay, so after realizing that I want it to be 14 inches, I divided it into 7. So I had 7 inches on one side and 7 inches on the other side. So total of it is going to give me 7 inches. Then I extended that same 14 inches to the hem because this is a baggy. Like, my clients really want this to be really baggy, to be really full, and I do not want to have any shape. So I just took it straight down to the hem. So my paper is not actually enough. It's not complete, like it's not giving me my complete full length, so I'm going to cut the full length on my fabric when I'm transferring it to fabric, and that's because it's a straight cutting, so it does not really have any complications. So you can see I'm labeling the lines and connecting them together with a straight ruler. So you can also see the way I'm using my curves to connect this together. So you want to also try using this curve to also give it shape at that point. Okay, this part I'm casting is the part that we will not be using. So we're going to be working with the first line. So this is the front piece. I remember I said we're not working with the waist measurement here, which we are supposed to have connected to the hip. We're going to leave it that way, so that when we put our elastic, it's going to fold it together until we get our waist measurement. Okay, so now that I've gotten this, we're going to be doing the back pattern. Okay, so I'm going to draft the back pattern on this fabric, on this paper rather. So I'll advise that you do it on another paper if you can, but if you cannot, please just do it the same way I'm doing it. I came out by 1 inch from the crouch extension, from the center front rather, and I came in by 2 inches from the waist region. As you can see, I came in by 1 inch from the crouch area, and I came in by 2 inches from the waist region, and I connected it together, extending the line up a little. Okay, so remember we had 12 inches from this side to the center front here. That same 12 inches, I'm going to come to this part of my side back, put the 12 inches there and connect it to where I have this line. Okay, and this is where it stopped. I just marked it there. Remember that this extension, I came up from that center back line from the waist, I came up by 1.5 inches. Okay, if you're very chubby, or you're very busty, you can use 2 inches. So after connecting these lines together, I came towards the crouch area. Remember, I came in by 1 inch. That 1 inch there, I marked it towards this side back, as you can see. And from the hip area, I checked what I have there as 1.25, and I marked that same 1.25 there. Now I'm connecting them together like this, and I'm also going to connect it to the upper part here like this. Okay, so after connecting them together, this is going to be the back. Okay, so note that the back and the front are not the same. Okay, so now that I've connected this part, I'm going to get my crouch extension. Okay, so I'm going to be using my marker to label the lines back, front. I'm just going to use B for back and F for front, so that when I'm cutting, I can be able to tell, and also when you're cutting, you can tell. So for the back extension, I divided the hip by 4, and I had 4 inches. So I marked 4 inches from the back, center back rather, not from the waist, and not from the front, from the back. After marking 4 inches there, I came out by 0.5 inches on the hip line of the back, and I connected it with my curve. Okay, I'm so sorry my camera is not capturing this, but if you follow what I'm saying, you will get it right. Okay, so just connect the part where you marked the 4 inches to the part where you came out by 0.5 inches on the hip and curve it in. Okay, so from the side, I'm marking half of an inch. As you can see, I'm marking half of an inch all around, and I'm connecting these parts together. So you can use your curve to connect it, or you just draw it straight, but I think it's better to use your curve to give it a very good appearance, or a very good shape. Okay, so after marking half of an inch on this side, I'm going to come to the other side. I'm going to come to the other side and mark half of an inch as well. So you can see I labeled it back and front, just for us to be able to identify it. Okay, so for this other part, which is the center, the inseam area, I'm going to mark half of an inch as well. From the thigh area down to the hem, I'm going to connect it together, and I'm going to connect it to the crouch. So you can see I'm connecting it to the back crouch. So this part is showing us the curve that I made earlier. So you can see I've connected it to the back crouch. So as it is right now, I'm going to transfer it to my fabric and cut it out. So before I do that, I'm going to come towards the waist area. I'm going to come down from this, I'm going to come up from the side by half of an inch and come down by half of an inch. Okay, so you're actually marking it on the side and the center. So towards the side, you come up by half of an inch, and towards the center, you mark half of an inch. Then you place your ruler like this and connect them together. I'm going to make this visible. So it might be a little bit confusing, but you have to take it slowly. So because you've extended the side by half of an inch upwards, you have to do the same thing for the back. And that was what I just did here, and connected it to the center front. So be careful. You have to be mindful of it when you're cutting it out, or when you're tracing it out on your pattern. So with this, we can transfer to fabric, but before doing that, I would advise you take a another pattern paper, place it underneath this paper, and then place this pattern paper on it. Then use your tracing wheel. This tracing wheel I'm holding to trace it out. You can trace the front piece, then cut out the back piece on this, or you trace the back piece and cut out the front piece on this. So that is if you want to use this pattern for future use. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just showing you how to do it, but I'll end up using this same pattern to cut the back and the front of my fabric, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so I have removed the pattern paper, and this is what we are going to be using here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the front piece first. Okay, so I'm going to fold in the back part. You can see the way I'm taking my time to fold it. So follow the parts of the back. That's why I said you should mark the front and the back. You can use back for B and F for front to mark it there so that you can be able to tell. So I'm folding in the back area. I folded the side, and I'm going to come to the inseam area, that is the center front, or the center front actually, because we are cutting the front, and I'll fold in that area as well. Fold in the crouch as well, the area that you have your crouch, fold it in, then you transfer it to your fabric and cut. So as you can see, I'm going to need to cut it out, leaving 1.5 inches allowance for the side, and then marked half of an inch on the inseam area. Then for the upper part, I marked half of an inch. Remember the waist area, we are supposed to take out the band, which we have not taken out. So you're going to mark the band and cut it off. If it's 1.5 inches, 2 inches, you're going to cut it off from your fabric, not on your pattern paper. Okay, because we are using this pattern paper for the front and the back. Now I'm going to mark the full length because my paper is not enough. I'm going to mark the exact full length and cut it on the fabric. So after doing that, you can see I'm opening it up so that I can be able to cut the back side, the back piece. So I'm going to open it up properly, and I'm going to now go ahead and cut out. Okay, so from this crouch area, I'm going to cut out the front part away so that I can have my back piece on its own. Can you see? You can see what I'm doing here. So now I have my front and my back as well, and then after opening it on all sides, I'm going to transfer it to my fabric as well, and I'm going to cut it out. So right now I'm going to need to cut it out, leaving the allowance of half of an inch at the top at the inseam, and 1.5 inches allowance for the side, then the extra part of the hem that is meant to complete the full length. So after I removed it, I'm going to cut out that excess I have for the waist band. Remember I told you that waist area that I did not cut out, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches and cut it out, because that is the amount of waistband I want to use. The inches for the waistband. So I'm going to cut it out for both the back and the front. So now I'm going to take my fabric. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to start with the front piece. I'm going to start with the front piece, and you can see I cut this out into 4 pieces. So this is the pocket we're going to be creating first on the front piece, and this is about 8 inches wide and 10 inches long. So I'm going to come to the front area towards the side. I'm going to take 2 pieces first, and I'm going to place this pocket to it, right side facing each other. And remember, my allowance is about 1.5 inches or 2 inches depending on what you are using. I'm using 1.5 inches here, I think. So I'm going to mark the 1.5 inches, and I'm going to add up the extra that I want the opening of that pocket to be. So I end up using 4.5, so that by the time I close it up with the side allowance of 1.5, it's going to be remaining about 2.5, I guess. So I came down and marked 8 inches at the side like this, and I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point together in form of a a slant line like this. Okay, so I'm going to follow this line on my sewing machine and run a stitch on that part. Now I've gone ahead to stitch it. So after stitching it, I'm not going to be using this extra allowance part. It's going to be too thick on the front piece, so I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this extra allowance, and after cutting it out, I'm going to run a top stitch. I'm going to run a top stitch on it, whereby the top stitch is facing towards where the allowance is, not towards the front part of the fabric. Okay, so make sure that when you trim it, you run a stitch towards the allowance. Okay, so after folding it like this, I'm also going to run a stitch on it like this. This is going to hold it in place. Okay, you can actually press this on your iron, with your iron rather, so that it relaxes properly. So after running a stitch on it, this is what I have there. I'm going to take the second pocket bag. that is the other part I cut from my pocket like this, and I'm going to place the right side facing me and place this part on it like this, ensuring that I align it properly from the waistline and to the side. As you can see, this is what it is. So after placing it properly like this, I'm going to start from the side, the smallest part of that side. Okay, this is me measuring it, what is going to be the opening is going to be after I've joined it with the allowance for the side. I notice that the opening is enough for my hand to pass through. So from this side of the remaining part of the pocket bag, I'm going to start from there to run a stitch. I'm going to use my pin to hold it so that it doesn't shake. Then I'm going to turn it over to the back so that I can from there continue the sewing. So I'm going to start from that part there. As you can see, I've placed them together, the two pockets together. I'm going to start from this back where I pinned it. I'm going to run a stitch from that side towards the side, coming up, and I'm going to close it up like that. So after doing that, I'm going to run a stitch with half of an inch. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like on the front piece, and we are also going to repeat the same thing on the back. Please take note of that. Okay, so now after running this stitch around it with half of an inch, this is what it is. As you can see, remember that when you are working, please always press your work, take it to the ironing table to press it. So now I'm going to connect this part together with the main part of the front piece like this. I'm just going to run a stitch at that top there so that I can hold them together. So after doing that, this is what we have. Please always make sure you press your work. I can see now that my opening is good, and even when I join it with the side, it's still going to be okay. So I'm repeating the same thing for the other side of the front, and after doing that, I'm going to join the two crotch region together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the two front pieces together like this, and I'm going to join them right side facing each other, and after doing that, I'll run a stitch around them with about half of an inch. Okay, so you want to take your time to align them properly because you don't want to make any mistake. You don't want one side not aligning. If you have to pin them down, please do pin them down. Okay, I always love to use my pins because it helps to bring my work neat and it makes it easy for me when I am sewing. So I've gone ahead to pin it down. I'm just going to take the back piece now. Please always press your work. Okay, take it to the ironing table and press it. Okay, so I'm going to take the back piece right now, and I'm going to join the two crotch area and join them with half of an inch. So this is the back piece. I've joined it together, and this is what it looks like. So now that I've joined the front and the back crotch area together, I'm going to join them together now through the side, the front piece and the back piece. Okay, so now once you place the back piece like this facing you from the right side, you're going to take the front piece and place it right side facing the right side of the back piece like this, and then you're going to come towards the side. You're going to come towards the side and join it with the allowance that you kept. So if you kept 2 inches allowance, go ahead and do that. Remember I told you I used 1.5 inches allowance for the side. Sometimes our clients always want us to keep enough allowance, but I would advise that you just use 1 inch because you do not want to have too many allowance on your fabric. So run a stitch with about 1.5 inches or 1 inch depending on what you use for the both side, and after doing that, you'll have that side closed up already. So the next part you're going to be joining is the inseam here, where you make sure that the right side for the front and back aligns together. You can go ahead and pin it down. Pinning it is very important. Okay, pin it down to ensure that it doesn't move when you are sewing. Okay, so go ahead and run half of an inch all round from one leg to the other leg. Okay, so we're going to fix our waistband now. In the previous tutorial that I had, I showed us how we can achieve this waistband. I'm going to leave that link in my description box. Okay, so you can watch it and go ahead and use it to make your waistband. Then now you're going to hem the lower part of the trouser, the hem. You're going to go ahead and fold it. Okay, just fold it. You can also weave it. You can just use your overlocker for it, then fold it. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to attach the waist, and that is it. So after doing that, this is what it gives us. Remember I said I want it very baggy, and that is what I have here. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you find it very helpful, do not hesitate to give us a thumbs up, to share our video, and subscribe to our channel if you are new to the channel so that you can be notified whenever we post new video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video.